Boys, we are officially on the road to getting 35s on the Tacoma. I think this is going to be part one of a multi-part series of prepping the truck to fit 35s. So today we are at SHP getting the cab mount relocation done. Now, I know a lot of people decide to go with a cab mount chop, but I've heard from some people that it works if you're doing street driving, but if you're stuffing the front tires, full bump, maybe get some turn in there, you're gonna still hit. So I'm like, okay, I don't have long travel. I'm not pushed out wide enough, so I think I'm still gonna hit. So I decided to just go with the full relocation. He already has one side done, but before he chops off the other side, let's go ahead and take a look at just how far it sticks out. It's almost flush with the whole wheel well itself. But like I said, he already has the other side done, and look how far back that sits compared. The whole mount is like maybe right there. So my biggest problem now is this pinch weld, which we'll deal with later, I suppose. He's already got one side done. He's gonna go ahead and cut off the second side now, and we'll take a look at it when it's all cut off to see what it is this DRT relocation kit actually does. Unless you want to talk about it now, but we're still gonna look at it once it's chopped.
So these are both the holes, you know, for reference on the front cab mount by your feet, and you got that much extra sitting off the factory one, and this one kicks it back, I don't know, 4 inches further back than the factory one. So you can chop this back all you want, but you're only going to be able to cut it to right here. So like we have plates, this is a plate for it, you're only getting back to, you're getting maybe an inch. So I think the chop is worth it if you're running like a 33. But anything over that, you gotta do the relocation.
Yeah. Or unless you're doing a 35 not off-roading.
Even then, they still rub.
Do you think people have problems if they do cut it that far back and they're still hitting? You think it's gonna start like fucking up the mount, like the body mount itself? Or?
It doesn't necessarily hurt the body mount, but you can only, like I said, you can only get to here, and when you weld right here, when you get any form of heat, it just melts that bushing and then defeats the purpose of a body mount.
And once you chop that shit off, then this plate just seals up that cavity that's there, right?
Yeah, I mean the plate is just like a doubler. There's no hole. I mean there is a hole, but it's not in the way of the new cab mount. It's just extra precaution so you don't tear the frame. But for an idea, this is, say, the frame rail, and then the frame rail obviously, so they're even, and you're losing 4 inches. So I think you should clear it at least a 35 with these. I don't know what's 37s, but.
They don't know about the 37s yet, but...
No, I meant on my truck. Not,
yeah.
Not really, just lovely Toyota.
All right. We'll tap in when you're done chopping that side off. Or not chopping, plasma cutting.
No, there's chopping.
Oh, chop, okay.
Chopping my finger, too. It's all right.
Every week, dude. All right, well, I'm using his front office as a little editing studio while he's working, but Cat might be out of the bag on a project coming this weekend. Yes, we'll be able to comfortably clear 35s, but what about 37s? That might be something we find out this weekend. That might be the next episode. I don't know, boys. You got to stick around for that. But yeah, we might be throwing 37s on the taco for a weekend. So I'm gonna let him go ahead and chop that up. I'm gonna finish editing a reel, and then we'll catch back up once it's just lopped completely off. I want to show you guys the new spare tire straps that finally came in. We are back with a new batch of custom limited edition Desert Dime spare tire straps from Alpine Off-Road. The designs we have this time around are the TRD heritage stripes right here for all the Toyota boys. And if TRD stripes aren't your thing, we have my personal favorite, the Desert Digital Camo right here. This is so badass. Now what's different this time around is I did not only just order Y straps, I also got single straps for the boys that are running standing spares. So if you guys need a high quality spare tire strap for your truck, you guys know I already got you covered. And I have to say one more time, these are limited edition. Once these sell out, I am not bringing these designs back. I will be moving on to 2 new designs. So go ahead over to shopdesertdime.com and grab them while they are still here. Also on the website, we have the 2 t-shirts. Right here, we have the Desert Dime t-shirt where we got Desert Dime written with the cactuses in the desert. And on the back, we have the actual Desert Dime. And over here, we have the OG logo t-shirt right here. Ooh, bam. There we go. So I urge you guys to head over to shopdesertdime.com, check out the merchandise, check out the spare tire straps. That being said, let's get into the video. All right, so we got the driver's side one chopped off, grinded down and all smooth now. I thought there was gonna be like a huge gaping cavity where the old one was, but this is it, just this little circular hole. Big ass plate goes over that. Then the actual mount goes up. It's a lot cleaner than I thought it would be once you like cut that stock one off. I thought it was gonna be a mess in there.
I think the third gens have a fat hole behind it, but I don't remember really. Doing third gen cab mount chops is horrible. There's like another gusset kind of deal behind the actual cab mount. Like, you look at this one. When you go to cut these ones off, there's nothing back there. Like, it's open. And the third gen has a plate that goes across the back and then one that way. So you gotta like wedge a sawzall in all weird, and it gets pretty western. But
while he's working on this, we got to see the snowball effect that happened with his truck. I think the last time I saw your truck was King of Hammers, when you were just like, I want these leaves to break on this trip.
I broke on that trip.
So he was running. It was stock rear end, right? Like stock leafs at least.
Yeah, I had a Deaver F87s in it, but I broke 3 of the leaves in each pack and the center pins like right before New Year's. And I had a set of stock leaves laying around at a Connor's truck, and I put those in there just to like drive around on. And then they end up staying in there for way too long. But I don't know, first trip they rode pretty good, and then once they're sacked out, it's horrible.
Did you have this kit on when you were running the stock leafs? Or?
Yeah, that kit's been on it for years. And then I need a bigger shock package in the front. As you can tell, the 2.5 is about our end.
So yeah, he was running the long travel front end with basically a stock rear end last season, just beating the shit out of it, hoping it breaks so we could go ahead and do stuff like this. You've been working for like, what, 2 months on this?
Yeah.
It's been hovercraft for 2 months?
Yeah, when I have time.
Cut through whole bed cage into cab cage. It ties into the engine already?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet. No, that's with the new kit. So I don't want to send anything through the firewall until I have the final front end on it. It's a waste of tubing.
Yeah. Ditch the leaves completely. Going short course length. I don't know shit about links. How are you making this work going through the bed like this?
We'll find out.
It's to be determined still, or what?
Yeah, no, it'll work. It's just I'm waiting on Heim bungs to build the upper links. Those mounts are just sitting on there.
Are you gonna have to cut more out of the bed for it to clear once it gets mounted up?
Yeah, I just wanted to get it through to where I could get the axle up to bump, to see where, because I got to cut the tubs out and all that fun stuff.
Did the C-notch on the frame got full bumpage out of this shit? I had asked when I first got here if that tire was gonna clear, because you're gonna run what? Are you doing? Okay, I was like, doing 40s on this?
No, that was the plan, but with that front kit, the 2-inch hub, and a semi-float axle and a stock steering rack, it's not a good idea. Yeah. But even 37s are pretty questionable on that rack. But this is a bald 34, and it doesn't clear worth a shit. So
yeah, she's up in there. She's in there like swimwear.
I could have pulled more bump out of the thing with a smaller truss on the axle and a bigger C-notch, but this bed cage was existing from last year's setup, and you know, time is of the essence, and I don't want to rebuild an entire bed cage or at least shock mounts to kick these shocks up higher. So we're looking at like 22 inches with like 9 to 10 inches of travel, which is fine with me. And this isn't a permanent setup, so
yeah, he's going big boy on the rear end now. Bump as high as possible, running 37s with short course length, some fatty coilovers, all the way tied into a whole cab cage. You just finished this cab cage like this past week, didn't you?
Yeah, there's little odds and ends still, like the dash pad and head unit and stuff like that, but as far as actual cab and sealing the cab and mounting it to the frame of the truck and paint and wiring the intercom and dome lights and radio and gusset plates and all that, that's all done. It's just little annoying stuff now, like the finishing of wiring and carpet, and which I should have done the carpet before the seats went in, but what are you gonna do?
Snowballing.
Kind of forced.
Snowballing in the right direction.
Yeah, financially the wrong direction.
Got the driver's side torched in, painted up, and waiting for it to dry. I found this all the way on the other side of the truck under the tire. What should I do for this pinch? Do I need to do the slotted cut thing, or can I just hammer that bitch?
I mean, the slotted shit is kind of a waste, but if you just cut it once, I guess it's already broke off. You can just fold it either way you want. Just cut it once down here, because it's all pretty thin. Cutting it a bunch doesn't really do much besides make it easier to
If it was
fold,
like more curved, you'd need to cut it. But
that, or if it was like it's really tight right here, if it were to like span out, you know, and
yeah,
have like 2 points, then yeah, because you wouldn't be able to fold it. But it's just like a flat piece of 1/8 inch that you can bend over. You could even use a crescent wrench if you wanted to.
all right, so both sides are all reattached, put in all the clearance we need here. We're not, I mean, these are 33s. Me turning them full lock's not going to show anything because I wasn't even hitting before with these. But once we get larger tires on, which will probably be this weekend, then we can do a full test where we actually turn it full lock and see just how much room we have with it. The last thing I'm gonna have to do when I get home is actually hammer the pinch weld back in so I clear this, because as you can see, I'm already starting to split it right here. And then eventually at some point, I'm gonna end up painting the whole inside of this all black and make it look nice and clean. Thank you, sir, for squeezing me in last minute. Shout out to DRT for expediting that shipping literally in like 2 or 3 days, because I found out I'm gonna be running the 37s like the day I text you about it. I was like, dude, I need this done ASAP. But it all worked out. And like I said, this is the beginning of the road to getting 35s, which is an uncomfortable amount more money than I would like it to be. But
Facebook Marketplace.
I need a regear next.
Facebook Marketplace.
You get a guy off Facebook Marketplace. I'm not getting a Facebook Marketplace, gotta do my regear. That's
every fucking replace I've seen, whether it's the most expensive one in the world or the cheapest one, they all blow up at about $2.
we'll figure this out.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink, cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can